Hello, Judy here, and you're welcome back to my channel. If you want to see how I created this look, then keep on watching as this is a detailed tutorial. This is my client. She came in for her shoot and decided to create this beautiful look. Ignore this lighting. At first I didn't know my lighting was like this, but this was a micellar water I was using to clean her face. That micellar water is from Laveeda cosmetic. Currently I'm using the Zaron hydrating serum on her skin. This is the moisturizer, the Omaricod hydrating moisturizer on her skin. That's the moisturizer I'm using. This was a client and she was kind of in a haze, so there was no time to really, show all the products I use in this video. But I promise, even though I hate to type, I'm going to leave it in the description box. This is not even me promising what I will not do. I'm going to leave it in the description box. So I applied this moisturizer on her skin, applied that with a brush. I went ahead to use my hand to blend it into her skin. Guys, if you're using your hand to work on your client's skin, please make sure your hands are properly washed. Don't take your dirty hands on your client's skin. And I went ahead to massage her skin. She came in for her pregnancy shoot. She's pregnant, so I really just massaged her skin to help her relax because she was already tired from making her hair. Next, I went into her skin with a Msmetic oil control and sweat control tonic. I applied that on the T-zone, and guys, when you do this, make sure it dries. To speed up the drying process, you can use a fan. I'm using my lash back to do this. Next, I went into her skin with a primer. This is the Rimmel London primer I am using. I use this for every part of her face, tapping that in. Please do not drag so you don't move the product. I tap that in gently and do not stress her skin, please. So this is Gentle Dove mattifying primer, a great dupe for Becca mattifying primer. If you cannot afford Becca or you don't know where to buy Becca, please make sure you don't sleep on this. I apply this on the T-zone, still patting that in. Make sure you do not drag. This primer is really mattifying, so a little quantity goes a very long way. She was complaining about her smile line, so I told her to just buff her face. So I applied primer on that part of the face and went ahead to apply a translucent powder. This is going to control the smile line for a while. So if you have clients that have smile lines, please do this. Like, apply the primer, use a silicone primer. Please do not use a matte, dry matte primer, and do this. I also applied the powder on her T-zone. So for foundation, I went ahead with these two foundation. I mixed it and a drop of the makeup seal from Haga and Esther. This is going to make your foundation waterproof. So I apply that very little quantity, gently tap that into her skin. Please do not pack product, gently tap it into her skin and do not stress her skin as well. So I kept doing that, tapping. I apply on the other part, and when you're doing this, please take your time and blend. You're not rushing to anywhere. Even if you're rushing, just make sure you take your time to blend your foundation, because your foundation is the foundation for every other makeup to stay on. I went ahead on her nose area. I used the excess from my brush, and I'm using my beauty blender to just seal everything into the skin. Even though my brush did a good job, but I still use my beauty blender to seal it. So this is a cream lipstick from my Imagic lip palette I'm using as a blush. I love cream blushes so much. I don't ever not do cream blush. I just love it so much. I apply the excess on her nose and her forehead area, just very tiny quantity, like almost nothing there, so you don't pack blush on that part. So contouring her skin, I'm using my favorite foundation that I use to contour, the Inglot foundation in 10304. Yes, that's the shade. Apply that very little quantity and blend it. So for her hairline, because she has frontal on, I'm using a small brush to apply contour on that area. Guys, you don't want to pack products on that area, or you don't want the products to get into the hairline, because trust me, it's really going to mess it up and you will hate it. That's the word. So doing the same thing on the other part, very little quantity, guys. Don't pack product. I kept emphasizing on do not pack products, because a little goes a long way. And if your product is small, you can, if it's not enough, you can always add, but if it's too much, you cannot reduce, and that's quite unfortunate because it's just going to mess up your makeup. So I went ahead to blend. Whatever you do, please blend. To highlight her skin, I'm using the Kelvin Aucoin concealer in number 6. To do that, I took with a flat brush, apply it on under her eyes, on her chin, under her nose, on the bridge of her nose and her forehead. I'm doing this with a very little quantity. This Kelvin Aucoin concealer goes a very long way, so you need just little for you to have a good coverage, and it gives you time to blend, so you can apply every part of the face and go ahead to blend. So when you're blending, take it easy. When I'm blending, I like to blend the chin first, under the nose, the forehead area, the bridge of the nose, just to give the under eyes time to, to get a little bit tacky. I don't like blending my concealer immediately, especially under the eyes. I like to give it time to let it get tacky. If I'm using the Kelvin Aucoin concealer, Elegant concealer, or Younger Beauty concealer, but if I'm using my Nuban Beauty concealer, I blend as I go, because this concealer dries out really fast. It's not as creamy as the Elegant and the Kelvin Aucoin, and also the Younger Beauty. It's not as creamy as that, so you blend as you go to avoid um demarcation or dryness. So I went ahead to blend. Make sure you blend like your life depend on it, guys. So to contour her nose, I'm using the same foundation I used to contour her face. To do that, apply that very little quantity. I went ahead with my beauty sponge, to blend that into her skin. You can use a smaller beauty sponge if that will make it easier for you, but I don't like using like two beauty sponges to be working when I can still use the big one to achieve what I want to do. It's just stressful and it takes time. So if the smaller beauty sponge works for you, then that's fine. So when you're done doing that, just go ahead, blend everything together, blend the blush into the contour, into the highlight, into the foundation. Just make sure everything is well blended and there is no demarcation anywhere, no lines, no creasing. So to set under the eyes, I went ahead to blend under the eyes again, set with the pressed powder. Doing that, I'm using the Nuban Beauty mineral powder. Guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, this is the best time to subscribe to my channel. Do not leave my channel without subscribing, please. So I'm just taking very little quantity. Please do not pack products, because you can finish blending under the eyes with concealer and go ahead to mess it up with setting powder. So after placing the pressed powder, I went ahead, blended again, and I'm using the setting powder. During this, I'm using the Merak setting powder in ginger. This is one of the best Nigeria brand setting powder. They have like very good setting powder, and they're eyeliner too. I love it so much. So to intensify the contour or set the contour, I'm using my Fenty Beauty powder in number 400 to do that. Just very little quantity. I'm not packing product. And also I set the nose area. Please, if you're setting the nose area, please just use a smaller brush. Don't just do what I did. You can mess up your skin work. So I went ahead, use my V Beauty blush to intensify the blush. So I'm setting the brows, because I did the brows off camera. She said she wanted her brows looking really natural, like it's her brows. So that's why I opted for this brow. So I set the beginning part of the brows, the side where I contoured with the same powder, Fenty Beauty 400. So for the eyeshadow, I'm using my gel liner my brow gel for the lid, because I want a black base. So I used my powder to set all on the crease. When you do your primer, whatever I use for primer, just use a powder first before going with an eyeshadow. So I use the orange to blend, and I'm using this brown on the lid, the orange on the crease and this brown on the lid. I went ahead with a shade, like a darker shade of brown, very little bit darker than what I have on the lid, and blend the outer corner of the eyes into the crease, and just make sure everything is well blended. This is me trying to smoke out the outer corner of the eyes. Went ahead with an orange again to blend it, and just make sure everything is well blended. So this is a pigment glue I have on the back of my palm. I let it get tacky a little bit, then place it on the lid, then just make sure you blend it properly, guys. So I went ahead with a pigment. This is MK pigment in the shade Ewa Aura or something. It has like it's a green shade, so I just place it on the lid. Very little quantity, because I'm not going for the full pigment all over the eyes. So I went ahead with my pigment glue again, because I'll be using this this glitter on it. Place it very little quantity, and I went ahead to place the glitter again on top of it. So I just wanted to have that, glitter and pigment on the eyes looking very all sweet and luscious, if that even makes sense. Dust out the excess fallout. Then I went ahead with my merak charcoal pencil inside her waterline. Then I'm using my tequila cosmetic gel liner to line the lid, sorry, her lash line rather. So went ahead with a small brush, took a little bit of eyeshadow and smudged under the eyes, using mascara on the lashes before I place the false lashes to just keep the lashes in order and take out excess pigment. Lashes makes a lot of difference. So I'm trying to finish up the makeup. I'm using my Nuban Beauty Mineral Powder in number 1 to just blend under the eyes, take out excess powders, pigment fallout, whatever. So when you're doing that, please do not pack product, because I was barely picking products. So for the lip, I'm lining with my brow pencil. Yes, your brow pencil is not just for the brows only, it can also serve as your lip liner and also an eyeshadow primer. So I line with a brow pencil, use this cream lipstick in the lid just to create a base for me for the matte lipstick I'm using. So this is me applying the matte lipstick. This is the So Pro, I think in the shade Zara. They have the best nude matte lipstick, guys, trust me when I say that. So I went ahead, use this Avo lipstick in number 39 on it, just to give me like the very light shade of pink. I think that it's called baby pink also. Went ahead with a gloss to gloss the lip. As a gloss girl, trust me to always gloss the lip. So done with the lip, and spraying with my Nia Beauty setting spray. Guys, if you cannot afford the airbrush, the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting spray, just use the the Nia Beauty setting spray. So for highlighter, I'm using the Revlon Makeup Revolution highlighter palette. It's been a while I use this palette, so I think I've even forgotten the name. Just very little quantity for cream highlight. I used the Msmetic Dewy Wet Balm all over her skin. I love doing on the high point of the face, then just take the SSS all over her skin. So this is a glow spray I recently received from Nia Beauty, and I'm loving it. But please make sure you don't overuse this glow spray so she doesn't look like sunshine, trust me. So then I used mascara on her her lower lash line, then my So Pro cosmetic to seal that into the skin. And guys, this is the finished look. This makeup is giving everything it needs to give and more. Let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, please don't not hesitate to ask in the comment section. Subscribe if you're yet to, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.